A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So, we are back with panel number 3 discussion. And the topic for that is Agentic AI in CX transforming customer experience. Now, I would like to request all the panelists for this session, please brace yourself. First, I would like to call Mr. Gaurav Bajaj, Head of Customer Experience, MobiWik. Can we have a huge round of applause for him? Now the next name is Mr. Gagandeep Singh, SVP and Head of Customer Experience, Niva Bupa Health Insurance. Now the next name is Mr. Rajan Verma, General Manager Marketing, JK Lakshmi Cement. The next name is Mr. Venkat Ramanan, Mr. Venkat, Head of Customer Experience and Digital Transformation, Lifelong Online Retail. Louder. Claps, please. The next name is Mr. Mohan Bhatt, Head of Product, R&D, Luminous Power Technologies. And the moderator for this session would be Mr. Gursharan Bansal, CGM and Chief Sales and Marketing Officer from India Post Payments Bank. Can we have a huge round of applause for all of them? So it's over to them. Please carry forward, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon to everyone. So we are here to discuss on this very important topic, the role of agentic AI on the CX transformation. We have an esteemed panel over here. We would like to, have a discussion one by one. I think I would ask questions to all of you one by one, and then maybe we can open the forum for, some general questions. So first, I would like to ask Mr. Gagandeep. The future of customer support with Agentic AI. What do you think about it? How the customer support is going to change with Agentic AI?
Sure. Thank you for that. That's a great question to start with. Good afternoon, everyone. A standard disclaimer first is that all the views I express are my individual views, not of the organization.
Of course.
So just to answer your question, we are at a point of inflection. Where we have seen different points of inflection in the last 15, 20 years, and this T-minus 6 and plus months is a big point of inflection where we are right now. If we are looking at future of customer service and customer experience and agentic AI, extremely important to understand that first, just like if you give various tools to a carpenter and say there is furniture to be made, there are sophistication of these tools which maybe started with a stone, then the hammer and nail came, and few automation tools were there, and then there are more sophisticated tools which will continue to be introduced in our life. Similarly, over here there is an evolution. Most important is that we understand that what is the problem or opportunity we are trying to capture and how these particular tools fit in. So what has definitely changed is, and what I observed by interacting with different industry colleagues, is there is a definite mindset shift from a point which is about reactive and being able to manage a particular interaction in the best possible manner. Now we have reached a point where it's reactive is also an under delivery, but being proactive is an under delivery, and it's about looking at how we can anticipate and deliver it. So, for example, I was discussing this with one of our banking industry colleagues that if someone loses his or her card, there was a time that they'll call center. It will take time. In 5 minutes, the card gets blocked. Then a time came where IVR was introduced. They don't need to talk to an agent and block the card. A time came where this was given on customer app. Now they want to reach a point where the moment a suspicious behavior is observed, the card is not closer or to the mobile which is there for longer duration, an alert gets raised, card gets blocked, etc. So that's the level of proactiveness some of the industry leaders are looking at. Also, few changes. First is the mindset shift change. Second is the workforce. The workforce, instead of being a very delivery mindset, they are now workforce will be much more clear. They're not there to just deliver a particular transaction, but more to serve to care what customer needs, to fill that requirement with empathy and keep it in a controlled manner. So just two big things. One is the mindset shift and a shift in how the delivery is happening.
Wonderful. That's absolutely true. In fact, the mind shift has really undergone a change, and in fact, the agentic AI also probably I think is not being human dependent. The customer experience will be more uniform, more systematic, more process driven, and I think with a better information source, and I think it will be more efficient as well. So I think that is also one point that you have driven. In fact, the industry truly is undergoing a change in terms of the customer experience with agentic AI. I'll move on to Gaurav Bajaj from MobiQuick. I would like to ask you, how will agentic AI change the customer service in the coming years?
Thank you. I think it has already changed a lot, and I think a lot of companies have adopted agentic AI and been testing it. I know that it's not fully adapted by all because of a lot of apprehensions as to how agentic AI learns with time. But one is definitely the traditional method of serving the users, especially like our traditional chatbots, which was very static-based answers. I think with agentic AI, users have got the flexibility, and this agentic AI is not only reactive but also very proactive in terms of, for example, if let's talk about if there is a payment issue or there's something which has gone wrong, which is very, anything can happen in an organization. Passing on that information proactively to the users before they actually think of reaching out to the customer service, this agentic AI will really help to build that trust with the users. I think a lot of issues will get resolved, but agentic AI will not solve 100% of the user resolutions. While it will be faster, that's for sure, and it is just happening, and we've been testing it ourselves in our organization where, and of course, while we were discussing with few of our colleagues that the idea is not to reduce the manpower. I think the first thing which comes into the mind for everyone is if we put AI, the number of executives who are using or serving the users would come down. It will come down a little bit, but I think the main humans will always be there because of the kind of personalization which is required. I think agentic AI is trying really hard to create that kind of personalization. And of course, with India as pan-India, you require multilingual supports through these AIs. I think to a certain extent, English and Hindi, yes, but I'm not very confident about other languages, and especially when you're serving the South territories. So yes, in the next couple years, I definitely feel that everyone would adopt AI, but very cautiously. And if they are able to solve 70 to 80% of the user queries with satisfaction, I think there's nothing wrong in adapting that.
Very true, very true. In fact, what you talked about, the proactiveness in terms of the customer service, there are use cases. For example, in our case, in our organization, we have lakhs of agents who are using our micro ATM application. And suddenly, if something goes wrong in the application or some patch update is there and some some error starts popping up, lot of queries you will start getting on the customer service number. And, a use case is clearly that, the moment this kind of a thing happens, automatically a message would get triggered to all the users that, the app is down because of certain reason, and it will be up within half an hour or maybe 15 minutes. Please bear for some time. So these kind of things, they can actually, save a lot of, in fact, the anxiety and, stuff, and as well as the efforts of the field agents that, these kind of things happen. And this is a common issue. They would also sometimes not realize that this is a common issue issue, and this is not specific to his application only. So it's a very good point that you've said that, proactiveness in terms of, the customer service, customer support, that is going to, get evolved over time. Moving on, I would like to ask Mr. Mohan Bhatt, is agentic AI the magic wand CX leaders are looking for in the current times?
Hello. Yeah, sir, this is a good question. So, regarding agentic AI customer experience, as on date, it's a drastic change in the scenario as we compare the previous scenario of the customer complaints and all the customer support experience in the industry. So earlier the process was very similar that we were, approaching to the company and they are just enrolling your complaints and accordingly they are taking action and enrolling and asking about the symptoms of your product, what's going on, all these things. And after that, they are assigning some engineers depending upon your problem. So this was the traditional AI we can say. So the magic is here for the agentic AI is that he has a brain, he can understand the problem, and he can think next step. What we were taking the process earlier manually, these all have been incorporated as a process inbuilt with agentic AI. So this is the benefit of this. And secondly, we can say, as sir has asked about is agentic AI is a magic. So for that, we have to go some detailed, some more factories here. If we are a customer and we are approaching some company, we have purchased a product and we have some sentiments with the product as well. And we require some, kind of the sympathy, we can say empathy is also inbuilt with this scenario. What happens as well as any customer approach to the company about his product problem, any complaints, so he expects some, empathy from their side and expectations about this. So I think, agentic AI is not built this. So the human addition is must there, including human touch and coordination, cooperation with AI. So we can say AI we can use as a tool. This is good and this is the best combination. Definitely we can say this is the magic. Alone AI, agentic AI cannot handle the complete solution. So definitely including human touch and all the process, agentic AI is magic. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, in fact, you've clearly highlighted the fact that, along with the high tech, also you need a, high human touch. And this human touch cannot be replaced. It's a very clear kind of, the sentiment which is there in the industry as well that, ultimately the last point of touch is the human. And the human agent cannot be replaced by the AI agent in certain cases. Some of the routine cases, some of the routine queries, some of the queries, even at certain advanced, as it gets evolved, as the agentic, AI learns and evolves and can answer and can actually move on and move up to the next level. But the human touch is irreplaceable because of the emotions, the sentiments, the empathy. These are some of the factors which only humans understand. The agent probably would not understand fun. The agent would probably not understand satire. It will not understand sarcasm. So all these kind of things, they cannot be replaced. And the magic is in terms of speed, scale, economy, and in case today everywhere in India, it's all about scale. An organization like ours, we started just about 8 years back. And you won't believe that today we are touching almost 4 crore transactions every day and almost 8,000 transactions per second. So these kind of scale up which is happening in India and probably in many organizations, many organizations, even in India as well as abroad. So even the developed countries, the Western countries, they like India because of the size, the scale, and the sheer numbers that we have over here. And that is where I think the magic of agentic AI comes in. But you're right, that cannot be replaced by the humans cannot be replaced by the agentic AI in most of the cases. Yeah, Gagan, you would like.
So the discussion triggered a very important point in my mind. So what we tell is that treat all the agents as your digital co-worker. That these are digital co-workers who are there looking for a job, looking for an organization, and you hire them. We train them. We see that what is the skill set which we want from the agent. Don't expect agent to know everything which is your organization and then say that it's not working. And also don't fully depend on agent that I don't need to train, I don't need to test this agent and then it will work perfectly. So treat it as any other employee who does not go through the wage code mess which is there, but and does not get limited to the 8 hours. We don't need to control it within the human element, but still it can deliver a lot of other things. With that lens, we have seen at least the understanding of employees of the agentic AI and the value it brings, that gap gets bridged.
Correct. And I think that it brings to a point that also the monitoring and the audit of all the agentic AI conversations, the responses, etc., that's very critical, especially in the beginning, very, very critical, because I think we have to also have certain checks and balances, whether it's working properly or not. Now, moving on, Mr. Rajan Verma, agentic AI in customer support beyond traditional chatbots, what do you feel?
Okay, with your permission and with the audience, a small exercise. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you have a mobile phone with you? Raise your hands. Fantastic, fantastic. Some of you are not carrying a mobile phone, that's also good. How many of you have used a chatbot for the last couple of days, today or now? This is where the things are coming out for the traditional account. We have in a database about close to 5,000 plus odd dealers, about 10,000 odd retailers, equal number of 10,000 odd plus a systematic inflow of mason contractors and everything. So if you look at it and look at where they're coming from, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, people talked about magic wand, people talk about customer supports and all. So does the chatbot help? Many people, you see how many find it very irritating? Raise your hand. Yes, the lady is there. Yes, yes, there. And look at the type of traditional industrial people who are working with us, dealers, tier 2, tier 3 cities, you know. So at the end of the day, they just have, when they get up in the morning, they just want to look at how much they have earned out of 1 rupee. They want to look at whether their balances are okay, whether they want to look at if they want to generate a revenue at the end of the day, is it correct, whether the delivery has taken place or not. The question nobody seems to answer or other theme is, why do we want it? So going forward, if I'm able to address why format of that, if my dealer is in the dead of the morning, gets up and all these things, a statement which is verified, which pleases him, which he knows it's accurate, deadly accurate with him. A system which tells him that whatever orders which he has placed has been dispatched from this and is expected, and where is the delay is going to happen. A system which tells him if a technical query has risen up, whom should he call. He doesn't have a mason, doesn't have a exponential IQ, or they're brilliant in their field in terms of experience. They don't have Harvard degrees or degrees from Wharton or IIMs or anything, but they're brilliant in the field. Give them a brick or one bag of cement, they will create a dream out of it. But for that to be addressed is where does the problem arise? So going forward, if we are able to resolve 70%, 80% of the basic issues, I don't want them to go to the chatbot or I know our IT team has given a chatbot or Center of Excellence, but they never get down into the ground reality. What is the issue behind it? The issue is not the chatbot itself. Issue is how the in-field people are able to extract the maximum benefit out of it. If it takes them tons and tons of time, even a 5 minute or a 6 minute time like for them, it's a waste of time. So end of the day, my good friend, colleague out here, Rahul, had also analyzed and told me, and most of the chat box are generally used for downloading your account statement, and it's across companies everywhere. So how do I see it in the future? 70-80% of an agentic AI resolve the problems on a down-to-earth, get up in the morning, and in front of him, in a simple Broadway basis, multiple agentic which is running through. Instead of an AI, I used I've used the word magic wand. Magic wand for them would not be a magic wand in itself unless and until I have done the right plumbing. In terms of, I brought the SAP data, my dispatch data and everything, and coordinated and made a cohesive agentic AI to resolve 70-80%. I don't want 100% of the problem to be solved. I want my regional manager to have enough time and to him, which is wasting right now in giving them an account statement or giving him a dispatch issue or telling him, look, your credit is here, or telling him where your loyalty is going to happen when. I want that 30-40% of the time which he has now to go up by 80% and use it more for what the rest of the gentleman has rightly said in long-term relationship building. If the corporate has to grow, if this has to grow, the human relationship has to grow. Tomorrow I may bring in an agentic AI module into my system. We were discussing right now towards about people talk about traditional loyalty and everything. Loyalty is not what governs is loyalty. If you look at if I'm able to forecast 3 years down the line, I need my 1,000-ton dealer who's earning crores of rupee to reach a level of 3,000 or 4,000. Then if he's working in a loyalty, where is the next loyalty to push him automatically and day to day remind him that if you had done this, this would have happened. Though I want my complete module to set that. So in the long run, what people chatbot is going to change. The service level, I would like 70-80% of the resolutions to be in hand. And of course, human intervention is required because legally and a lot of chatbots doesn't solve because especially financial and certain logistics modeling is in-depth is required. Yes, it will be a mix of magic wand and it will be a mix of plumbing, which I see in the forum. It's got hope. It's the way as to how we address the why. It is a long time back, many people used to say that if you bring an ERP system into the complete corporate governance, it's going to take away. It's not going to take away jobs. It's going to how best to use it. So similar happens as to our mason, dealers and everything. I don't want them wasting about 80% of the time other than the normal chat, following up why a dispatch truck didn't happen. Or why did my loyalty program, which was supposed to push me by 1 point, didn't happen. Those are where I see the agentic AI fitting into correctly. Thank you.
So, Rajanji, just as a follow-up question, I would like to ask, that in my sales career, I've been in sales all through. I've seen that, sometimes a problem solution for the salesperson is also a sale, right? So, sometimes I feel that, the agentic AI in situations of B2B, typically, wherein, let's say I'm, as an organization, I'm dealing with my dealers and, I'm dealing with my distributors, etc. Sometimes solution to their problems is also a point of building trust and, giving them certain solutions and also a mode of communication or a means of communication. They call up, for example, in our case, Any agent who feels a problem is simply he'll not call up the call center first. He'll call up the branch manager first. I have this problem. Please solve it. Or I have this issue in terms of understanding a product. Please solve it. So those kind of things, if they get solved by an agentic AI, that would actually curtail some of the a sales opportunity, right? But I think in terms of the large scale customer service handling, I think probably there the agentic AI would play a better role and would serve.
Just to answer you that, just to in depth what I spoke about, we did a long back research and all. We found out that if a salesperson is visiting a counter in a particular place, how much of a time, I used the word when we had that beautiful mobile and the chatbot interaction with the audience, thanks to them. What I use the word that if you do a research, if you get into that, any salesperson who visits a counter, about 70 to 80% of his time goes away resolving issues like, okay, what is your credit terms, how much if you have jumped to loyalty. What we have been trying to forecasting is, let's inbuild or take away about 70-80% of this before a salesperson visits a counter. Our idea is to let that extra 70% build on relationship. What does a 30 dealer or a 30 unit SKU wants to be? He wants to use in a 1 year or a 5 years time at 1,000 or 10,000 unit year. So if my salesperson goes there and spends currently 70-80% trying to say, get tomorrow, if you had, say, picked up to 1 month back extra, you would have moved up to loyalty by this much to this much, from 10 to 13. But right in the morning, that same agentic AI has already informed the dealer. That is a solution, reality text. So the 70-80%, we want to shift it. Let the person spend more time on relationship. Let's talk to the dealer, spend on his experience. Let's see him connect, how well he gets connected. That's where the growth is going to actually, where the revenue is. That is, we are not replacing the relationship. We are extending the scope and the timeage for relationship. We are trying to build upon or giving more time for both of them to interact, both of them to talk about revenue generation, of them to talk about the growth. That is where the businesses come from. We want more of them, salesperson, to actually sit back with the dealer or his whatever team, train them on something, what's going to happen in the future. That is where the role will. That's what I said.
Very true, very true. So it can actually work as a sales co-pilot as well. So he'll have the solution to his problems well in advance, before he visits. And probably the dealer also, it will save a lot of time, energy to actually give him the solution right there and then instantaneously. So very true and very, very good. Coming to Mr. Venkat, again, agenting AI in action, okay? Elevating customer service without, costing the human touch. So how do you feel about it?
Yeah. Few aspects of human touch you already covered. Before going to the question, since I'll be talking with some examples, let me talk about Lifelong. I represent Lifelong, and Lifelong, you would have seen the brand at Amazon, Blinkit. So we are into home appliances, and we are a large growing startup, and we primarily sell through online marketplaces. So our customers are Amazon, Blinkits of the world. But the actual end customer who buys our products are not our actual customers. So when they have a problem with the product, they contact us directly. And the issue is we don't have any data about those customers. So these are some complexities I'm trying to introduce. So 2 years back, when customers used to complain, say at our call center, it was chaotic. Since we used to insist on model number as one critical piece of information, whereas customers would not have that. And normally, do you remember the model number of, say, an air fryer or a mixer grinder at home? You don't, right? So it's natural. But our workflows were constructed in a manner where everything was linked to the model number. Certain models of treadmills or even massagers are repairable products, whereas certain model numbers are not repairable. Means if a customer is facing an issue for a treadmill which is not repairable, we normally evaluate the genuineness of the claim and means whether it's under warranty or not, and we generally give a product replacement. We can't repair the product. So call centers used to be chaotic for customers since we used to insist on model numbers, and we never used to find out whether a product was actually repairable or not. And then the workflows used to get chaotic. So customer who's expecting a repair would have got a replacement, or in the process of getting a replacement, so on and so forth. Then we explored AI options. We have implemented an AI agent, and we have moved from the traditional chatbots to the agentic AI now. What has happened? We have moved from conversation automation to resolution based automation. So the agent is able to not just answer queries, it's able to act and resolve. So what is the agent doing? It's able to understand multiple intents, customer intents. It's able to assimilate and chalk out a workflow basis certain information which the customer has given. And a customer can say, instead of taking the name of a mixer grinder, the customer can say, I have a machine which, mixes and grinds powders and chutneys for me. So even if customers use this kind of language, the bot is able to understand, assimilate, and chalk out a workflow. And it's able to act, decide, and assign technicians for repairs wherever it's appropriate. Even place replacement orders wherever it's required after checking the genuineness of the invoice presented. And it can also orchestrate across multiple systems. Means a replacement order happens in a different system, which is called, say, Unicommerce. Our ERP is different, CRM is different. The tickets get created by the agent in CRM. Then for the replacement order, if the customer calls back saying, what happened to my replacement? It's not reached me. Then there is a different system to check, which is ShipRocket. They are our logistics partner. So the AI agent is able to check and give appropriate information or even act according basis what the customer wants. And the last system is RazorPay, which we use to process refunds. We have given that as well to the AI agent to play with. So a whole lot of autonomy we have given to the AI. What has happened? Good things. Yes, we are able to manage speed. We are able to manage scale. AI is bringing in efficiency. AI is bringing in consistency in execution. It has also made us improve our processes. So our process maturity has moved forward. Data quality has improved. Then governance around AI agents have also become stronger. And the organization is also more AI ready. So all these have been favorable. And these are all what we call, we are in the good path. But the challenges are actually in the edge cases. So, for example, if a mixer grinder has a coupler issue, it can get repaired by replacing the coupler, right? So, such a complaint, if it comes to us, we need to check for damages. Means, hope the coupler issue has not come because of product handling issue or a damage which has occurred. For that, we ask customers to give us a 30-second issue video. AI agent cannot check that. We tried doing that, it failed miserably. So fraud detection is something which AI agent is what do you call has a limited scope. Sometimes customers are also what do you call they give insufficient information. So there also the AI agent fails. Then our product knowledge databases keep evolving, keep changing over days. So that's where excuse me, AI agents are not able to give a very, very definitive course of action. So, and as all of you know, service operations is still messy. So that's where the human touch comes in. I'm not saying that human touch is needed in all interactions. Wherever interactions can be resolved directly by an agent, AI agent, instantly and correctly, so be it. We have allowed those set of interactions. But wherever a human touch or a human needs to get engaged, we do that. So, where the difference comes, obviously, humans bring judgment, humans bring empathy, and one more thing which we normally lose out while talking about it is accountability. So the customer, when his case is not getting resolved, he is expecting a human to tell him or her that we got this, like we are there for you, and probably the human will will promise a finite tat and do some bit of reassurance. So that bit of accountability is where we are bringing in human agents, and we are able to uh, see a whole lot of improvements in KPIs, especially around first-time resolution, TATs means speed of resolution, stuff like that. So, and obviously it's translating into NPS and CSAT. So,
Wonderful.
so it's actually we have to get to the right level of autonomy between AI and humans, the right balance, and we have to bring in human agents where humans are able to actually create genuine value, and that will actually make the human touch more meaningful.
True, true. And any numbers you'd like to indicate that, for example, let's say before you brought in AI, all 100 were handled by human. Now, what percentage is being handled by human and rest being handled by agentic AI? Any number?
Yeah, for us, if 100 interactions 2 years back were handled by agents, now around 80 of them are getting handled through AI.
That's really wonderful. So give a round of applause to Lifelong for bringing in beautiful AI, agentic AI for this. Moving on, I would like to again come back to Mr. Rajan. As we have seen, that for a perfect or a good performance by agentic AI, we need quality data. So how would you, like to explain the data, the role of the data, the quality data, the, systematic cohort setting of the data and stuff like that? Would you like to comment on that?
Okay, if you look at it, again, the initial, which we used the magic wand at the question of plumbing. The beauty about plumbing in a house is if you go to you're using the word coupler or the round socket and it doesn't fit is, you'll have an overflow or a choked valve. That is what in the data of agentic or the future, the way the data plays the biggest role. Multiple organizations, big organizations, we work under different modules. SAP, for example, or an ERP modules, whichever you HR, then you have sales data, sales module, production, tons and tons of you. Then somebody comes and an IT, the beauty of it, somebody will suddenly say, okay, why not you deploy Salesforce? Somebody will say, why not you deploy? So what's happening over a period of time, as and when the systems and the way of the interface evolves, you have got multiple departments working around. multiple modules and multiple interfaces. And tomorrow, if I have what I talked earlier, if I have to get 70-80% of the things done, and that is where the data integration or the plumbing comes into focus. If I'm not able to integrate or propose a system where I have a logistic agentic AI, a customer-led agentic AI, financial agentic AI and everything to work in tandem and together at a point. And for that to work is where I ensure that each and every data fits like a big cogwheel, or it doesn't fit. Doesn't fit. It gives me a thought of a long term how to resolve it. It's a training. But at the time of the day when a dealer or somebody is getting up in the morning and he wants to read after say 2 or 3 years, this is where my truck is going to be placed and how it's going to move out and how much is my expiry. You see, it's at the back end what's happening. A logistics volume data and a customer related data and a financial data is being integrated. If it is not integrated properly, that is the core of any data what you talk about in the future, which is the core. So right plumbing, right time, right secondage is where you are. Magic wand, yes, I'll get a solution in place, I'll get an external consultancy in place. But if I haven't done my homework, then I'll end up with a chatbot which tells me 10 after speaking to it for 10 minutes. It tells me that if I have to bring about a design change in the way cement is to be used on a wall, you go and connect with the local team. What I'm talking all rubbish, to be honest. Many people would not have, but that happens with the data if it is not plumbed together. And that is the key and the critical. And more data which I have, if I am not able to use it, if I have my company or the corporate may be existence for 40 years, but if I'm not able to correctly use it for the 10 years. Today morning, my colleague Rahul and myself, we met one of the exhibitors they were talking about loyalty and all. So even for me, the loyalty, if I want to push up my, say a Mason from a tier A to an A++ or an A B++, that is where my data reading or my data understanding makes me a bigger competitive plus point to my competitors. If I have put an agentic AI, used the correct sense of data, timed it properly, I'm actually able to tell that Mason, look, today you were able to pick up 1 bag of cement. Tomorrow, if you had picked up 2 bags of extra cement, maybe today for your family, you picked up 3 Bisleri bottles. Maybe tomorrow you would have, for your girl child, you would have picked up 1 steel bottle, which would have been better for a school. So what's happening? I'm letting my data to work in a highly integrated way at the accurate level. And time. Time is the essence. So each long time, about 10 to 12 years back, when I was part of the core team in ERP, coming from the background from that, we were able to run through tons of raw data and find, you can say, synchronize it. Why? And which is going to happen is because these are the results which we plan to use. Timeliness, accuracy, and the correct set of information so that the AI, the delight factor and everything falls in focus. That's what I look at.
Thank you. Coming to Mr. Venkat, trust comes from human touch, the customer trust, and also the agentic AI playing a big role over there. Where do you think the two fit in the agentic CX world?
Interesting. So before coming to the actual question, we need to introspect actually in customer service where actually human agents can value add more. So few years back, they used to do everything, right? From information fetching, handling to problem solving. So before Agentic AI, they used to do all of that. Spend most of the time on fetching information from various systems. There are too many applications running around. And then assimilate that information and understand the problem and then get into the resolution mode. Many times we would have all encountered unusually high hold times. That's precisely why means that's the reason why means all these human agents were navigating through so many systems to understand the issue and address the customer better. And many a times when we call back the same question, the agent used to ask, "Can I understand your problem better, sir?" So all that has now been what do you call? We are able to solutionize that bit using agentic AI. So the human agents have actually become problem solvers. Since information which is needed to understand and resolve the issue is already provided by the AI agent in a capsule. So the history of interactions, why the customer is called earlier, why the customer is calling us now, or why is he chatting us with us now, or why this email has come, and is he following up, or is it a fresh complaint, or any customer background the agent needs to understand. All of that is readily coming in. So the human agent is actually able to get into problem solving mode and resolve queries and complaints better. So, and if when this is happening consistently, customers are able to see the trust factor. One, first they are initially interacting with a chatbot and or a voice bot. Customers are aware of that they are interacting with a bot. But the minute the interaction is not able to get resolved at the chatbot or the voice bot end, it gets when it gets transferred to the human agent, the empathy is naturally coming in, and the trust is also getting gained. Now, as managers of all this, what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to ensure that the handoff is smooth and it's happening at the right time. So the AI agent we are building needs to understand very clearly or predict where exactly the handoff needs to be done, means in which part of the resolution cycle. The AI agent needs to sense or predict where the interaction is failing, or if it's going for a resolution delay, any kind of alarm signal or an escalation alarm, it needs to get handed off to the human agent at the right time. If we build in agentic workflows which are taking everything to the end, then by the time customer is losing confidence till the time the human agent steps in. So handover to the agent is extremely important while designing
Some kind
agentic
of a heat
workflows.
map or something also can be, signaled
Right.
to the human agent that this guy is in the heat map, he's he's at this stage of red or orange or green. So something like that, so that the human agent can actually empathize and do the handling accordingly.
Right. AI agents cannot understand customer sentiments,
Correct.
but AI agents can definitely understand interactions.
Correct.
So that's what I'm trying to talk about.
Right.
And beyond this, what we have done, we have a very structured voice of agent program, means not the AI agent, the human agents. So there we call a set of 4-5 agents to a room and seek direct feedback on what's breaking. So where in the customer journey, what is breaking? And since they are having conversations with customers day in, day out, they are able to give us everything in a capsule. This process, this is where the break is happening, and I am not able to do much since the customer always insists on 1, 2, 3, whereas we are not even able to check information regarding 1, 2, 3 hours. So those kind of breakages in the journey are very, very clearly explained in a capsule, and we get enough food for thought for action planning, say for a month's time, just with one interaction with these set of agents. And in the last cohort, what we have done is we asked the 4 5 agents who were there in the room to design the AI agent along with us. So they were able to give us uh, extremely good inputs on where AI agents need to hand off, where there are more opportunities for failures, process failures, and where the handoff needs to happen. So, yeah.
Very true. The actual practitioners always give the best inputs and the best feedback. Gagan, yeah, you would like
Just
to
wanted
add.
to add a perspective which was coming in my mind. So, on point of trust, we also need to know that different customers will have different trust sensitivity. When I say trust sensitivity, it means if the experience of a customer is at a point where things are breaking down, there is high level of frustration. So over there, at times we have observed that if we have this a bot exposed and then gets deflected to a human at a later point of time, it makes things worse. Similarly, now customers, we have classified them into factors that these are highly comfortable interacting with a bot versus someone who at the very first instance will say I don't. Either they will drop the call or they'll figure out a way to deflect that call and go to a human. Now, on some of those elements, also we have classified those customers and concluded that maybe because this is not like a big chunk of call mix which is coming, it's appropriate to keep customer satisfaction and the messages which customer are giving is to continue to serve them by a non-bot. Also, one last piece which I wanted to add is that the maker checker element works extremely well if there are bots on both the end. So if there is a different bot, a different provider who is doing the voice calling, and the automated quality checks which are there on that calling is a different bot with completely different instructions given to them. The way it gets calibrated and both of them improves and learn from each other, there is compounding effect is what we have observed experimenting on that for last 6 months.
Okay, wonderful. So, one last question to Gaurav I would like to ask. For designing the agentic AI for customer experience, what do you think is the role of the product design? Where does it play, and what are some of the precautions and some of the steps that you need to take to get the best product?
I think before you go ahead and implement an agentic AI, it's very important to understand your users, right? Not every user is, most of the users can be receptive to AI. So whether your business allows that, and rightly said by him that, and by Venkat also, that you need to have a collaborated effort of understanding who's, getting trained, what are the use cases. These kind of things should be kept in mind to ensure while we are implementing the agentic AI, because there's no point when the users come and drop off like what he was mentioning. It's very important, and also to have a parallel kind of checks on the AI agentic to ensure the kind of accuracies which has been built in. And also Venkat is also making one point that there are so many things which gets added up into our knowledge base every now and then. It's very important to have a collaborated effort and keep on improving your knowledge base so that agentic AI can give the right information and does not break at a time when it matters the most.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, just to add, I also apparently head product quality at Lifelong. So, on the product design question, we have numerous examples. The complaint data, we use it as a very, very pivotal piece of means intelligence within the organization. Wherever complaints product complaints go beyond a certain threshold for various categories of products, we trigger it off with the respective product managers. Some of the I'll talk more about certain examples so that we can explain this better. we found that there was a safety key issue in our treadmill, one of our models. That safety key was not, what do you call, getting plugged in neatly, and the magnetism there, the magnet there is not working often. So this triggered a whole set of new complaints for a new model, which we launched, say, around 5-6 months back. So this is, I'm already explained you the root cause, but when the first set of complaints came on this, we didn't know what to do, since we only changed the safety key. We had spares, so we used to send technicians and change the safety key, but that wasn't working, since the issue was somewhere else. It was on the magnetism bit. So it took at least a month for us to actually understand the problem better, and we instructed the supplier to change the magnet itself. So from the next lot, we were able to get to zero complaints on that front, on that product. One more I can talk about if I have some time.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Our air fryers, sometimes there was an electrical connectivity issue, and complaints used to pour in for a particular model. And the customers used to say it's not getting switched on at all. So even the digital display wasn't working. So when we checked through a couple of technician visits, we found out that the electrical connectivity was not getting established. Somewhere the wiring was not done right. So we corrected that, and that wasn't case that wasn't the case with the entire lot, but it was a partial lot issue. We could trace that lot, and we didn't sell that lot further. And for further batches, we ensured that the wiring is rectified. So
Wonderful.
whole lot of things where customer service complaints are actually helping product design directly.
So one last question, I'll open it to the panel. When we talk about agentic AI, it's a technology which is flowing in from the West, and it has got some implication. It has got advantages, disadvantages, and we all understand that. But one of the key factors, for implementing agentic AI is the cost factor, the ROI. What are the economical benefits? So anybody would like to comment on that?
Just a brief. Uh, anything which you try to hardcore sell to a corporate or anybody else, what he rightly said and Venkat and all said is, before deciding any AI is the why. Why do that corporate or somebody wants it? And what resolution is able to. If these two factors are answered, then you do a reverse engineering in terms of the ROI and how do you want to actually build upon it. I have found people blindly getting into one particular tool, which is one of the biggest guzzlers in the today's world of tokens, without realizing that is. So yes, as the world evolves, as the corporate evolves, as people evolve, they will definitely look at the financial impacts if they are looking at the cost benefit analysis out of it, the ROI. If I have to end up using a particular tool, is there a better way to master use it so that my initial basic design costs or my basic inputs or whatever we need to resolve, I use the least amount of financial outgoes. That is what is going to impact the cost. The end is whatever I'm designing is to Y and the Y factor. Now, coming to the Y factor, the world of just IT or the world of COE, nothing against any IT personnel here, nothing here. It's gone, actually. If you want to actually get the benefit out of it and drive the right ROI or get out of the automation of the robotic moves, we have to ensure that the right set of people with the right knowledge who are sitting across and trying to put a tool or a design and system in place or a workflow in place which gives the maximum. As and when the corporate, just remember, as and when the corporates were, they're going to lose a cost optimization and the best which you can get out of it. Earlier used to be the IT used to design system, hand it over, use it. If it's a failure, it's your failure, it's not my failure. I've given you the best tool. And lakhs crores of rupees used to go down the drain. No. Tomorrow, it's going to reverse flow. You have to get all the right perspectives in place, get the IT team, get the marketing, be it the production team, be it the purchase, everybody to sit down, answer the what you want to derive out of it at the end. And that is what will get you the right ROI. Otherwise, what I see in the forecasted, I'm seeing line example, it's a pure wastage of money. And tomorrow you will be driving away people who don't want to adopt
quick
it.
thoughts, sir, from some of the other panelists.
So my quick thought on that, one is that ROI is extremely important. If anyone says that, okay, don't think about ROI, practice, experiment, I think we are fooling around in our boardroom or with our teams in the spirit of experimentation. So that's extremely important. Whatever gets done needs to be kept, these things need to be kept in mind that where we are investing policy or shareholders' money, it needs to be channelized in right direction. One learning which at least we got in last 6 months is that the ROI for things where we are ROI on elements which we are trying to improve, either we are struggling to demonstrate an ROI or convince that there is ROI over it. But on use cases where things were never ever done, but it has now, we have started doing as a company or as an industry, over there the value perceived is much higher than things which were already being done. So for example, if there's doctor prescription and ability to read, classify a 200-page document never existed without this, that's a wow factor, and we are able to convince finances on bringing that capability with efficiency. Apart from that, reducing contact center, AHT down, etc., does not excite at least finances that
So
much.
I think you've rightly pointed out that sometimes the value which has been derived cannot be actually quantified in terms of money. Okay, so I think that's one very good important point, because in the organizations, when they see, in terms of, let's say, customer satisfaction, right, or in terms of the customers, the brand enhancement or the brand value creation, so that cannot be quantified in money, but yes, it does provide an ROI. But that you're rightly saying that, that cannot be really quantified and put in money terms.
Yeah, I'll just try to summarize what you guys said. As all of us spoke about, not able to quantify a whole lot of things around AI investments. Few things which are direct and striking. One, how many human FTs saved and all. Those are very natural kind of ROIs which anybody looks at. But beyond that, I will say that what we are not able to quantify much, I'll bracket them into three, say, groups. One is anything which is adding to operational value, like speed of resolution or first time resolution, where it's actually improving customer experience. Second is customer value, where customer is able to means give us a better CSAT or an NPS score since he or she is genuinely more satisfied. And the customer is also able to see that the effort he or she is putting in to reach out to the brand is becoming lesser. Third is the business value, where the business is able to reap this investment through longer retention, higher LTV, lifetime value, and probably loyalty.
Wonderful. So I think beautifully summed up, and I would really thank all the panelists over here. Any questions from the audience? We would like to invite one or two questions if you have. Yeah, the lady over there. Do you have a mic, spare mic?
Hello. Can we answer actually? Hello, myself Sanjay Saxena. I have actually one question. Maybe any panelist can actually answer that. So presently in for the AI is now evolving for everywhere. So what like the market we are looking for the AI in that respect, and as this movement, what will be the threat for this AI? Maybe like this either jobs, either data securities, or something like data accuracy also. So any comment from the panelist side?
Anybody would like? So in terms of the market, I would say that, as we have seen the beautiful use cases, and as, Venkat over here and all our panelists there, elaborated, the use cases are there. The market is definitely going to expand. In terms of what you're saying, the threats, of course, the threats are there. As I mentioned earlier also, yesterday there was in the banking sector, the RBI governor, Sanjay Malhotra, also mentioned that, the AI has now to be adopted, the banks have to start adopting AI, agentic AI, etc., and the AI tools, so as to make the things more economical, more efficient, better customer experience, etc., etc., but with certain guardrails. The threat is there. Definitely, the agentic AI, agentic AI is actually learning by itself, evolving by itself, but certain guardrails. So the threat definitely is there. It has to be very well defined, controlled, and the governance, of the agentic AI is very, very important and critical. So, what was the other point you were saying?
My second point is data securities and like this data securities and any like.
So data security is, once you put in the agentic AI, the data security has to be there. Those guardrails definitely have to be maintained. Yeah.
Sir clearly told us 80% of their query are resolved by the AI.
Correct.
Then what happened to the humans?
What happened to the
Humans agent.
So no, yeah. So that was his question as well. That whether it is going to impact the human jobs or the job losses, etc. But definitely, it is not going to really impact. The impact is there, but very small. But as Gagan had also mentioned, that we have to take agentic AI as a co-worker, not as a replacement. So you've seen the in the history as well that 1990s में liberalization came. So suddenly people thought कि अभी क्या होने वाला है. Lot of stuff, lot of foreign companies, this, that, they started coming in, they'll take away jobs. To 2000, 2011, 10 के आसपास में, then digitization started happening at a very fast pace. At that time also, again, people thought, what is going to happen to human jobs. So again, this is again a new kind of phase, which has come in, and we believe that, even yesterday's data, that was published, that in the BPM sector, business process management, BPM sector, the government was anticipating last year 95,000 new jobs to be created. It has come down to 70,000. But there is hardly any impact. But theek hai, things are happening, evolving, and some of the jobs they are getting replaced because some of the jobs are getting automated and scaled up. But again, as I mentioned in my first comment, that India में scale का कोई कमी नहीं है. It's ever scaling up, it's growing, evolving, and scaling up. So वो उसमें impact नहीं आएगा.
But in the same way, we are saying agentic AI will resolve 80% of our problem at the call center level.
Correct.
Okay. If we are going to use a technology which is AI driven, which will reduce 80% our load, then it will definitely replace humans over there.
No.
Then if we are not going to replace the humans, why we are going to use agentic AI? Sir is clearly told humans are very good at answering, or they have all kind of sentiment analysis. They can answer all the question at the root level. Then why we are going to use agentic AI?
Would you like to answer that, or should I?
Also, just I'll answer that just with an example. So there was a time where we were sending postal letters to. If imagine a time that postal letters were being sent to ask a query, maybe 100 letters will be sent. The moment we shifted to an email, 10,000 emails started coming. Okay, so it's also about ease of accessing and getting information. Now, customers are much more, the hunger to get responses is much higher than how it was earlier. So, just to append on the 60% reduction is that if there is an increase in volume by 80%, I don't need to increase my workforce by 80%. I can increase by 20% and find out these smart ways to take care of that volume.
And also new kind of jobs get created, एजेंटिक एआई बनाने वाले, मेंटेन करने वाले, सिक्योरिटी मेंटेन करने वाले, वो सब चीजें न्यू जॉब्स आर गेटिंग क्रिएटेड, so that always the shift keeps on happening.
So one thing I would like to add here, sorry. So in agentic AI, the routine jobs and the repeatable calculations, all these things are being done initially. So for the fast advanced decisioning, all these things will be required human beings. So it can never be changed. Can replace, transform 100%. So thank you.
Just to add on just one point here, the role of the human agent is also evolved, right? So with agentic AI, what a human agent was doing, say 3-4 years back, right now the human agent is doing something else. He or she is doing problem solving, and the thinking hat is still won by the human agent. And there are a whole set of people who are managing the AI. So that's also adds to the workforce. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I think the lady, your question is answered, or would you like to answer? All right, fine. Thank you very much.
Okay, so sorry that we are actually running a bit behind the schedule. So before wasting any time further, I would like to hold on, sir, for the felicitation ceremony. For felicitation, I would like to invite Mr. Hardik from MSG 91, head from Partners Accounts. Sir, can you please come on stage? A huge round of applause to him. All right, so the first name I would like to take, Mr. Gaurav Bajaj, Head of Customer Experience, MobiWig. So we need to take individual pictures as well. And I want to hear louder claps, guys, louder. Thank you. The next name is Mr. Gagandeep Singh, EVP and Head of Customer Experience, Niva Bupa Health Insurance. The next name is of Mr. Rajan Verma, General Manager from Marketing, JK Lakshmi Cement. Next name is of Mr. Venkat Ramanan, Head from Customer Experience and Digital Transformation, Lifelong Online Retail. Next is Mr. Mohan Bhatt, Head of Product Compliances R&D, Luminous Power Technologies. And last but not the least, our moderator for this session, Gursharan Rai Bansal, CGM and Chief Sales and Marketing Officer from India Post Payment Banks. Now a group photograph, please. Sir, group photograph.